Hi, everyone. Okay, so I got a request from my cousin to do a ghost stories video, but I'm not going to just do a ghost stories video or a ghost stories video. I am going to do a ghost stories and premonitions video because they kind of go hand in hand. Because, like, okay, first let me explain. Ever since I was like a little girl, I've always like seen weird things, I've always heard weird things, and I've always like known when something bad was going to happen before it happened. And I always called that my curse, but everybody else said it was a gift because it got me prepared for something bad to happen before it did. So, okay. So, ghost stories. Okay, here we go. Okay, the first one I'm going to tell you is like from way back in the day when I was really little. My parents used to yell at me because I would be up all night and they would hear me. And I remember when I was really little, I would tell my mom that I was playing with the little Indian kids. And my mom was like, "What? Indian kids? What are you talking about?" So I would like literally think like I would like play with, I guess, the ghosts of Indian children when I was really little, and I'd be up all night playing with them. And then like there was, okay, now this is where the premonitions and the ghost stories both come into play. Okay, my cat Mousie turned up missing one night. And I couldn't find her, Well, Mousie was the type of cat that would always come home. So, um, she didn't come home. And I was like, okay. So I started making, I was probably like, I want to say about maybe 10, 11, maybe younger. But I was like, okay, so I start making lost cat posters. And in the middle of making lost cat posters, I was like, I just stopped. And I grabbed a newspaper and then I started writing down ads for free kittens. And my dad's like, "Well, what? You don't think we're going to find her?" He's like, "Why don't you give it some time?" He's like, "Finish the cat posters and we'll put them up and we'll look for her." And I was like, "No, Dad." I'm like, "She's gone. She's not coming home." I'm like, "I think it's just time to start looking for a new cat." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" So the very next day, I remember I'm sitting there and I overhear my dad on the phone calling on lost or on free kittens. And I remember I was like, "Dad, you found her, didn't you?" And he just didn't want to say anything. And I was like, "Dad, just tell me." I'm like, "You found her, didn't you?" I'm like, "I hear you calling about free kittens. Why would you be calling for free kittens if you hadn't found her?" And he was like, "Yes, I did." And I said, "Well," I'm like, "How did you find her?" I'm like, where is she?" He's like, "Well," he told me the weirdest thing happened where he actually heard her meow. And my cat Mousie, like, she had the weirdest meow. She sounded like a little old lady. She was like, it was the cutest thing. But he's like, "I heard her distinct meow." And he's like, "And I looked and I seen her." And he's like, "And she walked into the back of the barn." And he's like, "So I followed her." He's like, "But there's no way it could have been her because she'd been skinned alive by raccoons and she went back there to die. And when he found her, there was no chance in heck that that was her because she had already been dead for a while." So that was the first story. I know, weird, right? He followed a ghost cat to find her body. I know, weird. Okay, next story is, okay, let me think. Okay, premonition. My sister was really, really, really sick. And the night that she died, before my mom even came home to tell me, it was the weirdest thing. Because she died right around the same time as Princess Diana. So they were playing that, what is it called? The Rose song by Elton John that they were playing a lot when Princess Diana died. Well, that song came on the radio. And I woke up out of a dead sleep and just started crying. And and I already knew. Like, I knew she was gone. And like an hour later, my mom came home and was like, she's gone. So I already knew. It was the weirdest thing. Because, like, I don't know. I just woke up out of a dead sleep and I knew. Okay. So then, okay. Weirdest things. Okay. We have, like, at my old house, when I lived back in Madison, I remember, like, our thermostat would turn itself all the way up or it'd turn itself off. And I was like, I was getting mad because I thought my boyfriend at the time was doing it. And I was like, dude, stop turning the heat off. Or stop turning the heat on. It's like 90 degrees outside. Why are you turning the heat on? So, and then I would always see, like, a dark figure standing in the corner of my bedroom. And it used to freak me out. And I actually ended up sleeping on the couch because of this. Because it freaked me out so bad. And then, hold on. Then my friend Phil, he was staying with us. And I remember one day he came home from work and nobody else was home yet. And he was like, I don't want to sound weird or anything. And he's like, and I don't, he's like, but do you have ghosts in your house? And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. And he's like, okay. And I was like, why? What happened? And he's like, well, I put my keys on my dresser right before I went and took a shower. He's like, I went and got in the shower. I came back and my keys were gone. He's like, I couldn't find them anywhere. He's like, and I went to go grab a shirt out of the closet and they were hanging on a hook in his closet. On, like, clothes hangers. You know how some of the clothes hangers have the little hooks in them? Yeah. His keys were freaking hanging on the one little hook in his bedroom. And in that same bedroom, it was the weirdest thing. Like, before he moved in, I had this little teddy bear that I keep in my room. Well, every morning I would wake up and the teddy bear was gone. And it was in that other bedroom behind the door every freaking morning. So it got to the point where I just started leaving the teddy bear in the room because I figured, okay, there's got to be some reason. So yeah, that was weird. And like, you would hear like the cabinet doors like slam shut. Yeah. And like the water would just like start to trickle for no reason. And okay. So that was that house. And then, okay, the house that me and John lived in before this place. Okay. Oh, no. Okay. Go back even more. When we lived in our first trailer, when we first moved down here, we got our first trailer. And I remember my nephew Brandon was spending the night. And he was supposed to go to work with John in the morning, but he ended up sleeping in, so he didn't go. So I'm laying in bed, right? John's already left. I heard him leave. Well, then I hear footsteps, and I hear somebody open my bedroom door. Or no, I didn't hear footsteps. I heard somebody open my bedroom door. And I came out, and Brandon was like, did John come back this morning? I was like, no, I don't think so. He's like, well, it's just me and you, right? And I was like, he's like, did you get up after John left? He's like, did you get up to go to the bathroom? And I was like, no. I'm like, did you come in my room after John left? He's like, no. I'm like, well, I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I heard somebody open my bedroom door. And he's like, no. He's like, seriously? He's like, I heard somebody walk. He's like, I heard your bedroom door open, and then I heard footsteps, and then I heard somebody go into the bathroom and then come back out. He's like, I thought it was you. And I was like, no. I've been laying in bed till just now. I'm like, I just got up. And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah. So that was freaky. Okay. So the next one is, okay, so we fast forward a little bit. The next house we lived in, I remember, like, I don't know, it was just something uneasy in that house. Like, I was weird about something. Like, normally these things don't scare me. They don't freak me out. Well, I remember when we first moved in, we had an air mattress in the dining room because our bedroom was, like, filthy dirty. We had so many clothes in there because we were still unpacking. And this was before I had Logan. I was still pregnant with him. And I remember, like, we were laying there, and I told John, I was like, please, 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 please. I'm like, just don't do anything. He's like, do you feel weird in this house? I was like, yeah, I do. I was like, so he, and of course, being drunk, starts, come on, man. I'm taking pictures right to the hallway because I felt, like, weird. I felt like something was there, so I started snapping pictures. So I'm snapping pictures, and John's like, come on, man. Come on. Show yourself. Oh, come on. If there's somebody here, you need to show yourself, and la, la, la. So what happens? My brand new camera that I just bought shuts off with an error and deletes all the pictures that I just took, but not any other pictures that were on the card. Weird, huh? Yeah. I'm like, what the hell? And then in that house, Logan would wake up screaming because, and then, like, his toy would be in the middle of the floor and it would just go off for no reason. And it would scare the crap out of him, and he'd wake up screaming. And I'm like, what is going on? And, so yeah, that was weird. And then, okay, we moved into this house, and, like, I don't know. I feel it, but John really doesn't. Okay, so now I'm going to pull up a picture because I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on my webcam or not. Okay, so I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not, but this picture, okay, right here, there is this weird, like, orb-like thingy right by Caitlin's head. You see that? I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, that's freaky. And then, hold on, one moment. Okay. I feel stuff in this house all the time, and it freaks me out. Okay. Same day, different spot. Okay. Look at that. Right there. It's like a weird, like, mist. Now, I sent these to Zach Bagans from Ghost Adventures. I want to see what he thinks, so hopefully he'll respond back to me because I'm just curious. But, like, Logan will be in the hallway, and he'll be laughing his butt off for no reason. No reason. At all. No reason. Just laughing. And then there was this night, okay, when we had our old TV, you can see, like, a reflection in that TV because of the screen it had. Well, okay, back here, I have a radio, and it has a little blue light on it. And I like to, when I'm drinking, I like to sit in the dark and just chill and listen to music in the dark. And I know I'm weird, I'm demented, but okay. So you could see the reflection of the little blue light in the screen of the TV. And I swear to you, I'm sitting there and I'm chilling, and all of a sudden, something moves into front of the reflection of the blue light. And I turned around and I looked, and I'm like, there's nobody there. So I turned around and looked at the TV again, and the blue light's there. And I'm sitting there, I'm steady staring at the reflection of this blue light. And all of a sudden, something moves again in front of the blue light. What the heck is that? So I turned around again, and I looked. Nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. I mean, for real. There was nothing there. And I'm like freaking out. So I turned on all the lights. I'm looking all over. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing at all. There's nothing there. Okay? So then after that, the baby's toys just start going off. And it only happens when I'm by myself. Why? I don't know. But stuff just like goes off. We're constantly like hearing noises and stuff. Yeah. So then also in this house, I'm taking a shower, right? In the shower. John had went to the store or something. Well, I hear somebody open the door to the bathroom, right? And I see somebody walk in, and they're standing there. And I thought it was John. And I'm like, John, what do you need? And they didn't say nothing. I said, John, seriously, what do you need? I'm taking a shower. I'll be out in a minute. And they just turn around and walk back out. So I get out of the shower, and John had just came in. And I was like, John, what did you need? He's like, well, I couldn't get the door open. He's like, so I had to go around. I'm like, oh, well, I locked the doors because I was taking a shower. I'm like, so you weren't just in here? He's like, no. I'm like, so I'm like, all of a sudden I just start scattering. I'm checking the entire house. I'm like, the doors are locked. Who the fuck's in my house? Sorry. Bad language. Sorry. But I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh my God. So John's like spazzing out because he's like, are you serious? I'm like, yes, I'm dead serious. I'm like, I seen somebody walk into the bathroom. So I'm like, is Joey here? He's like, no. And he's like, he couldn't get in the house anyways. The door was locked. I'm like, oh my God. So somebody was in the bathroom with me. Somebody got a peep show. But I couldn't see nothing because of my glasses. And I was only looking through the curtain. Because I thought it was John. I didn't open the curtain or nothing. So, you know, what if it wasn't John? Maybe it was Joey. Yeah. Don't want to give him a free peep show. Yeah. So then, okay. This is the weirdest thing. Okay. I'll be walking through the house and I'll smell smoke out of nowhere. And this has happened to me more than once, and it freaks me out because I think the house is on fire. Because it's like, I smell smoke, and then it's like a weird, like, I panic. And as soon as I'm, like, searching, and I go exact same spot where I smelled the smoke, it's gone. Nowhere. Nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be smelled. It's gone. Yeah. Pretty freaky, huh? Yeah. So, I'm trying to think if there's any more. Oh, like, premonitions, like, before people die, I get a feeling. Like, sometimes it's weird. And, like, before, like, oh, perfect premonition. Oh, I just thought about it. When me and John got together, he was going to take off one night and go to his friend's house. And he was going to take my car. And I begged him. I don't know why I had a bad feeling, but I just begged him not to go. I was like, no, something bad's going to happen. Please, please don't go. And he's like, oh, no, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I was like, no. Please don't go. And he wouldn't listen to me. He left. So I was like, well, what time are you going to be back? He's like, I'll be back by 12, I think he said. Yeah, by 12. I was like, all right. But if you're not home by 12, I'm like, I'm setting an alarm. If you're not home by 12, I'm calling you. And he's like, okay. So I set my alarm. It goes off. He's not home. Bam. I'm like, he got a DUI and he's in jail. I don't know why I thought that. But like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, I get a phone call. He's in jail. He got a DUI in my car. Weird, huh? Like, I just know these things. I don't ask to know them. I don't. They just kind of happen to me. God, this glare in my glasses drives me nuts. Like, if I didn't wear my glasses, like, I look different. But then I can't see, so I keep my glasses on. But, yeah. I've had some freaky stuff happen to me. Like, I refuse. Oh, the weird thing is, every time I go to the cemetery to visit my sister, it rains or gets super cloudy. Or if I go I used to go at night, but now I don't because it freaks me out. I used to go at night and one star would shine and the rest would be all clouded or it'd be raining and one star would be shining. Weird, huh? Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, there's been some weird things that have happened to me. Um, so, yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's more that I could probably think of, but those are like the main ones that stick in my head of right now. Um, I mean, I'm like superly intrigued by this. Like right now, I'm watching Ghost Adventures because I'm like intrigued by that kind of stuff because I've been dealing with it since I was a kid. So that's the end of that.